We're not competing with China. I would say the opposite. China is trying to compete with us. They're coming from the rear. We have a strong African diaspora here in the United States. There's no way that China can compete with those kinds of engagements that we have. But we're not asking African countries to choose between the US and China. We're offering to our partners in Africa an alternative. We're offering to them a system that's based on values, that focus on people, focus on humanitarian assistance, but also focuses on human rights.
I think that this law is clearly a clear political decision by the US that they want that green industries will take place on their territory. But there is a transition, it's an opportunity, and they want that to be done here and not to be done outside or like solar panels, everything today. 90% of solar panels are manufactured in China today. Yeah. So which is, by the way, another problem of dependency. So it's true that this law, but I think for me there is a trend which began a few years ago, I would say, where the US seems to not to believe fundamentally in the multilateral system of the WTO. So they create their own rule. That's why the Europeans, who are fundamentally, I think, have a multilateral approach, are not happy. In particular, because they can be translated, even for them, European, there is no free trade agreement between Europe and the US, or I don't know why exactly. And so from this perspective, there is a political issue. Having said that, what I also think is that we should look at it as an opportunity for, and my answer, my speech to Europeans is do the same. Let's do the same in Europe. Europe is a continent where we have the Green Deal. We will invest more than everywhere to go to net zero. We have higher ambitions. So we must take decisions in order that green industry should be located in Europe.
Our view on that is we're going to have a conversation more generally, and I think the question for us shouldn't be a binary one as to whether we join NATO or not. I mean, we're involved in many partnerships at the moment. I've mentioned European Security and Common Defence, which has been evolving for over 25 years. And so, for example, we are in joint battle groups with EU member states for training purposes and so on. And then we have a partnership for peace with NATO. We're also obviously involved in United Nations peacekeeping. So there has been an evolution in terms of working with others and working with various organizations and so on. But Ireland has had, in terms of its foreign policy, and some key principles. I've mentioned some of them in my earlier remarks, but also the whole idea of nuclear non-proliferation, for example, the advancement of human rights. So we see our strengths in certain areas where we believe we can make a more meaningful contribution.